The champions are finally here, and it's Kolkata Knight Riders. That was one of the most boringest finals I've ever watched in the IPL. 17 years of the IPL, it's got to be the worst final ever. So one-sided, but Kolkata Knight Riders showing why they deserve to be champions, completely demolishing their Sunrisers Hyderabad there, and in the end, just being crowned the IPL champions there. The bowling, batting, fielding, everything was top class there. We'll discuss all that and more in our podcast. But before going ahead, requesting our viewers, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram. The handle's down there. And please don't forget to leave your comments in the comments section. Let's go to it then. Sheldon Dougherty, such a one-sided final. I didn't have the mood to watch it, first of all, but
Yeah.
you got to say that Kolkata did the job in the end there. And right from that first ball, Sheldon, that was bowled, I thought they were in the game and it was game over literally for Sunrisers there.
Yeah, Dil, and honestly, when you look at it, yes, boring final. We got to praise Kolkata though, Dil. Outstanding. I mean, the team
Yeah,
of the tournament, they demolished Hyderabad four times this year, Dil. Four times they
yeah,
played Hyderabad and they beat them four times. The first two games were close. The two playoff games weren't. It was boys against men, and honestly, shocking from Hyderabad. I thought their last three games were very poor. I know they
yeah,
won against Rajasthan, but their spinners bailed them out that game. The
yeah,
batting, Dil, when it mattered, oh, head, Abhishek, all can smack it. What happened to them? Travis said last few games have
yeah.
gone missing. I mean, it's just been crazy to see. And Mitch Starkdale, I mean, he's a pretty good bowler, isn't he, Dill? When he's on form and when it matters, he's pretty damn good. And all those who were saying he was too expensive, I mean, he won them two knockout games and the trophy. So I think the price was all right for Mitch Stark, right, Dill?
Oh, yes, Sheldon, because, I thought he bowled absolutely brilliant there. That ball to get rid of Abhishek Sharma
Wow.
has got to be one of the best balls of this year's IPL, or
Yeah.
probably the ball to get rid of Abhishek Sharma. Such a peach over there, just curving in and then just going across, hitting the stumps there. Just brilliant to watch. And you can watch the time and again and still not get bored of it
Yeah.
right there. But Sheldon, Sunrisers won the toss. They elected to bat first, which I thought, okay, fine. In a crunch game like that, final, you got to put runs on the board there. And we've seen in the last match that, they batted first and they won the match. So, okay, fine. They had that advantage. But Sheldon, you got to say that was such a pathetic batting display there in the end.
Yeah.
Not one batter going for it. No one, actually showing some intent to stay there. It felt like Kolkata, whichever ball they were bowling, they've just got each and every one of those guys out, Sheldon, because it was just baffling to see, and I felt that, this was just not done from SRH. I think they let down their fans today, Sheldon. They really let down the fans. And but Kolkata in the end, you gotta say, such a brilliant, brilliant job there. Everybody in the bowling unit, Vaibhav Arora, whether it was Harshit Rana, Mitchell Stark, or Varun Chakravarti, Sunil Narayan, Sheldon, these 4 to 5 bowlers were enough for any team.
Yeah, that's spot on. I mean, KKR's bowling was outstanding, Dil. I mean, you look at SH, as you mentioned, the batting order, Dil, they'll be so disappointed because throughout this tournament, we praised them for, going at it and being attacking and, breaking barriers with how they batted. But you just felt like when they reached the playoffs, they just lost all that. You felt like they just didn't have that same X factor they did with the bat. It was all pretty low scores. I mean, the highest score was against Rajasthan in that game. KKR, full praise to them because their bowling attack was just outstanding throughout the tournament. Dil. And as you mentioned, even some of the uncapped bowlers also stepping up. Harshit, right? Dil, you had
Yeah,
mentioned how well has he been, right? Dil, in this
yeah.
tournament, he's been outstanding. And of course, Narayan. I mean, honestly, easily could have been play of the tournament. With the ball, he was excellent. With the bat, he was outstanding. And I don't
Yeah,
know how he's not in that World Cup squad for the West Indies. I know that's a different talking matter, but he was playing for any other country, I think he would be the first name on many team sheets still.
absolutely right there, Sheldon. And if you look at Sunrisers batting there, they won the toss. Did you ever thought that in a final, Sheldon, 113 all out in a final, just folded over for 113, Sheldon? I mean, that's got to be one of the most disappointing performances in a crunch match, in a final there too, right? When it mattered the most, that you could see Pat Cummins, he knew the writing was on the wall straight away,
Yeah,
as the wickets were going down, but he tried real hard. And KKR, Sheldon, for that matter, seem to have got everything right. Shreyas Iyer now is etched his name in IPL history there. One of the few captains to win the IPL. I mean, that's got to be really big. And he's not picked in India's World Cup squad, which is also surprising. And really surprising, Sheldon's what to see that from both these teams, there are no Indian players that have picked for the
Yeah.
World Cup squad. Rinku Singh is there, I know, but he's in the reserves. But there's no Indian, Sheldon, from both these teams that are there on that flight to US and West Indies for the World Cup.
How crazy is that, Dill? I know I'd seen that stat and I was like, surely that can't be right. There's not a single Indian player who's in the 15-man squad who's playing this final. I mean, crazy when you look at it, Dill. That also shows how much talent India have that, none of them are playing the final. But yeah, Dill, Shreyas Iyer, what a redemption story, right? For him,
Yeah,
obviously unlucky to miss out on that World Cup squad, but I thought he's been brilliant as a leader, Dill. He scored some important runs as well. I
yeah,
thought the playoff game as well, he was outstanding, Dill. So yeah, I mean, Shreyas Iyer led from the front. So many of the KKR batters did so well, Dill. Whether it was Venkatesh Iyer, Phil Salt, who went home,
yeah.
Ryan as well. I mean, when you look throughout, obviously, I didn't mention Big Dre Russ, who
Man, what
always
a
delivers in
yeah.
big games as well. Rinku Singh, as you mentioned, Dill. So yeah, KKR, such a solid team. Almost every player delivered at some point this tournament, and well-deserved winners, Dill.
Yeah, well-deserved winners because in 2021 they played that all-important final there and lost. 2022 they were at the bottom of the table. 2023 last year also they were bottom of the table. This year Shreyas Iyer has led them to victory and glory there, and such a nice way, Sheldon, that they've gone about their business this season. Look at it, Sheldon. No one actually put their hopes on them. All right, no one actually gave them a chance.
Yeah.
And in the end, you've got to say Sheldon KKR had all the bases there. If it was in the fielding, they were electric in the field. The bowling, they were leading and they were picking up wickets and batting also, Sheldon. They were like top class.
Yeah, Dill, I think you're spot on there. I mean, such quality throughout that side. And I think that's the key elements to a side winning a tournament. It's not just one or two players who carry you through the tournament. It has to be
Yeah,
so many players. And you think of so many, the openers in particular, the way they set the tone. I
yeah,
think that set the tone for the team because the way Narayan and Saul batted in so many of those games, Dill, was as if they didn't care whether they get out first ball, right? And
exactly.
how many
Yeah,
chases KKR had, even in the final, in fact.
yeah,
Gurbas, fair play to him. He came in two games, and it's almost like he was Phil Salt reincarnated. The way he
yeah,
came in and
exactly.
played in those two games. But I
Yeah,
think that just shows when it's such a good team, Dill, that it doesn't matter if you lose a player because it's just put in that system where we're gonna keep playing the same way. And Gurbas came in and he played aggressive and he played very well in the two games he played. So yeah, brilliant, Dill.
yeah. And just before we wrap it up, a couple of more there, Sheldon. Would you say that it's boring without CSK, Mumbai, and RCB in a final? Because these are the
Ah,
exciting teams that you want to see in a final. And of course, CSK, Mumbai winning it so many times there. But it feels very weird when one of these teams are not there. What do you think? Would it have been very different if one of these teams were there in the final?
yeah, I think for sure RCB would have competed better, right? Against KKR. I mean, no, but yeah, you made a good point. I mean, Mumbai and CSK, Dil, when you look at them, for example, two titans of the game, they never got hammered in a final, those two teams. They always bring their A game. And that also shows how good those two teams are in particular when it comes to
Yeah,
knockout cricket. Because CSK in a final, Dil, if they were in Chennai, oh my God, it wouldn't have been
it
it
would
might
have
have
been
been one
different.
sided in favor of them like because
Yeah,
they're so good at home. But yeah, a one-sided final. But also, you look at Hyderabad season, and yes, when you look at the end, it's probably disappointing. But I think most of the season they've been outstanding, Hyderabad, when you look at it and the
yeah,
attacking cricket they've played.
yeah.
But yeah, when Cummins looks back, he'll probably say, "Guys, come on, the last three games, at least in the final, maybe should have turned up." But yeah, that's cricket, though. Some days it just isn't meant to be, right?
Oh, yeah, some days it isn't meant to be. But before we go, Sheldon, Pat Cummins, a word on him, how brilliant he has been overall. With the Ashes leading Australia there, World
Yeah.
Test Championship, he's got it. ODI World Cup, he's got it. We are going now for the T20 World Cup, Sheldon, and he's got some of these guys that are in some top-notch form there. And you felt that this was his chance for the IPL. He missed
Yeah.
out, but in the end, I felt Pat Cummins overall did a fantastic job. He came in into a new side. Last year, remember, Sunrisers were last on the table. They finished last. It was very disgraceful for them. They had some big names there, but they've got this team. They rebuilt the team, and Pat Cummins came in, took in charge. And then, got to say, yes, they didn't play the last 2, 3 games their best, but overall, you look at it and you say, Sunrisers, fair play, and they look really dangerous for next year.
Yeah, I mean, what more can you say about Pat Cummins? One of the best players in the world. I mean, an outstanding captain, probably the top captain right now going around. And just the way he pulled SRH after a very poor season last year, I mean, it
Yeah,
was pretty much the same squad with only probably him and maybe two, three other guys who got
yeah,
into the squad, but Cummins has led brilliantly. I mean, with the ball, I thought in fact he's been very good as well. When he
yeah.
comes in those middle overs, death overs, even with the bat at times, I thought in the playoffs when SRH was struggling, Cummins was at least showing some fight as the leader and captain that he is, with the bat and trying to get them to somewhat of an okay score in those games. But yeah, for Cummins, I mean, nothing but praise. But I know some people having laughs, saying finally he lost the final, but hey, he's so damn good. You never know, he might win Australia the T20 World Cup, and that would silence a lot of people. But yeah, Cummins, brilliant cricketer, brilliant captain, though.
Yeah, because he doesn't have anything to lose there. He just has
Yeah,
to post a pic or say something about the World Cup
yeah,
final or the
exactly.
World Test Championship, and then everyone will be quiet, right? But like
Yeah.
you said, Sheldon, he's got the T20 World Cup coming up now, and all eyes on that for him, maybe. But it's been very eventful, Sheldon, this entire IPL. But if you had to pick, like, your top game throughout this IPL, the best game for you, or your top three picks for the best game in this IPL, what would it be? Very quickly at the top of your head, if you had to pick three.
The first thing that comes to mind for me is KKR Punjab, one of the craziest games I've ever
Yeah.
seen. Though, when you just think of it and how high scoring it was, and for Punjab to chase that high score, I thought that was incredible to see. I mean, you look at
Before you
another game,
say
I'd probably
before you say the other two, I think I know what the other two are. And I think even my top three would be the same, but I want to hear your next one. Okay, so Punjab versus KKR, the high scoring game is the first one. The next two,
till one of the games maybe people say this is slight bias, but I mean, this for me was just peak cricket. I mean, I gotta go RCB CSK right there at the death of the tournament. Till I mean, that was just emotions and thrills, and it was one of the crazy games. And the third one, I look at it, I'd go for an interesting one. I think I'd go KKR Rajasthan, the one where Rajasthan chased, and I think Butler was left alone towards the end
oh,
there.
bro, you read my mind. You read my
Spot
mind.
on?
These were my
Yeah,
three.
no?
These were my three, the exact same three that I was going to say.
But yeah, I mean, when you look at that game and the fact that Rajasthan were dead and buried, I mean, the way Butler played in that game, and to think, Dil, after that, what happened to Rajasthan? I mean, they fell off a cliff, right, towards the end of
Yeah,
the group stage. And yeah, they beat Bangalore, but you could tell their form wasn't great. Like,
yeah.
that's why even Hyderabad, who didn't play that well against them, beat them. But yeah, those three games for me, I just think the first three that come to my head, peak IPL cricket, those three games for me, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been an eventful IPL year. We had lots of good games, some high scoring, some low scoring. But in the end, the final, you got to say it was a bit boring there because it was a low scoring one and the home team also was not playing. KKR really dominating there and showing why they are the best and deservedly crowned the IPL champions this year. And they add another trophy into their cabinet there. But thank you so much for watching the video, guys. It's been absolutely brilliant bringing this video to you. And thank you for all the love and the support that everyone's shown. Continue to like, share, and do leave your comments in the comment section. And we'll see you very soon. We've got the ICC T20 World Cup coming up,
Yeah.
and that's happening in the US and West Indies. So we'll bring you some analysis from there as well. But thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you soon.